morning, everyone. My name is McManus, and I have the pleasure, and it is a pleasure, to be curriculum head for ESOL in the City of Glasgow College, which is just very handy for something. I've been in this fortunate position now for 20 years. It gave me a shock last week when I looked at how long we've been delivering ESOL in Glasgow. But 20 years is what we've been doing in ESOL. We've been delivering bigger and bigger and bigger amounts of ESOL over these years, to the extent that today we have 1,300 live students with us. It's 1,700 enrolments since September, so we've lost 400 somewhere. I'm not quite sure where, but we'll try and find them. Those 1,300 come from around 87 different countries. And as people have said before, the top five, our top five follows the norm. Top number one is China, and number two, interestingly enough, is Scotland, which I think is a great improvement. People actually see themselves to be Scottish. And we go down the yes, we have Syrians, we have a big number of Eritreans this year. That seems to be the emerging nation of what we represent. But yes, we have Syrian refugees with us. And when we look at the makeup of that 1,300, we have approximately 35% of those who have declared their status as refugee or settlement. So a large number of our population comes from the refugee market. And around about 10 years ago, a number of staff were recognising the fact that, yeah, it was great, we're giving them 15 hours of English a week. We're improving their grammar no end. In fact, their grammar's better than Scottish Nationals. But what do they do once they leave the class? And they were doing nothing. They weren't using their own language, they weren't using English, they weren't using Glaswegian. There's a big difference. So what were they doing? They were totally isolated on the weekends. So big gap, big need. So two of the staff decided that it would be a good idea to meet them for coffee on a Saturday. Until that point, they thought Glasgow began where they lived and ended where they got off the bus to go to college. That was their sole experience of life in Glasgow. So the two members of staff agreed to meet them for a coffee, and that number grew week on week. Their purses did not grow, and the college budget didn't grow. So how could we address these needs? And the first thing we came up with was a language cafe, where they could use real language, perhaps not grammatically correct, but hey, we could communicate. So we contacted St Mungo's Museum, who we had been working with beforehand, and we started up a language cafe. And that happened, and it still happens today, once a month, where we have the use of the museum, isn't that great? And we bring along tea, coffee, biscuits, cakes, and the students can bring their families, again, a novel experience for them in learning. They could bring their friends, anybody they wanted, and they met 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock, and sometimes the museum staff put on activities, which is great. Sometimes somebody brings along a musical instrument, even better. But that integration started then into real life in Glasgow. And it served so many other unseen purposes, not least of which we had our first marriage. Yes, I had that silly black moment where I was invited to the wedding between an Iranian guy and a Polish female. And even today, the only language they share is English. 3 years on, they're still happy. So yes, it had huge benefits. I never benefited that way, but I learned more. So anyway, that was the birth of ESOL Extras. How could we make that more usable, more user-friendly for the majority of the students? So we have come up with the ideas, the staff, and that was fine. We're now at the stage of handing over complete responsibilities, scary thought, to the students themselves. So at the beginning of this academic year, we decided to have an ESOL Extras fair, where we asked the students what they wanted to do. Some of these are still staff-led, but we're working towards that time when they will be student-led. So we started with the Jobs and Volunteering Club, and that's actually split into two separates. And we're very fortunate because we work in partnership with LD and the Refugee Council, and we're using a peer education model for that. We've got such a wealth of experience and knowledge. Let's use it. Let's use their experiences to help others in similar circumstances. So these peer educators are now working with us in the Jobs and Volunteering Club. As you know, a number of people don't have the ability to work, so we were kind of excluding a major part of our population. So we've now got a jobs club and a volunteering club, and that's working beautifully this year. But we have to keep in mind the flexibility. We need to move with the flow of what the students want, what the students need. So study group was a big flop this year. Interested in studying? We wanted more fun items, so we moved on from study group to interpreters and mentors, and again we're using the skills of the students. The higher level students will interpret for lower level students. We need to hear the student voice, what we're doing well, what we're not doing so well. So we're using student focus groups, where we used to have it on level by level. We're now doing it by country, so that those from Syria, those from Eritrea, can feel comfortable in sharing their experiences of City of Glasgow College through the voice of their interpreters. We also use them as mentors, so they come down to lower levels. It improves their English, but it also supports the lower level learners in classroom situation. Help Hub is a kind of drop-in, where they've maybe experienced problems in their day-to-day lives, not necessarily in college, but in their lives in general. And they can come along and they can look for signposts. It may be that they just need someone to make a phone call on their behalf. It's very difficult to communicate face-to-face if your first language is English. It's even worse on the phone. So sometimes they just need a phone call. Sometimes they just need somebody to listen. Here, it's very difficult to listen and not put your own opinion in, but the main point of Help Hub is that we're signposting people to the right people to talk to for the help that they need. That one's not been so popular this year, and I think that's a good sign. They don't need that help. Oasis magazine, again, we have so much talent coming in from journalists, from authors, from writers, that we decided to harness that, and we now produce Oasis magazine. Oasis is the name given by the students because they felt that at City of Glasgow College was an oasis. Isn't that heart-tugging? That was a few years ago, I don't know if it's the same now. But they produce this magazine 4 times a year, and they produce it with the help of students on journalism courses. So my concern is always about this ESOL bubble. They arrive here and then they settle into the ESOL bubble. They're very reluctant to come out of it. They're very reluctant to use their language skills with native Glaswegians. I am too, I'm from Lanarkshire. I find it difficult to communicate sometimes. So they need something to have in writing. And when they see their work in print, it's a great boost to them. And it's also good to have ESOL students out there in the wider college, because this is then made available to the rest of the college population. Singing group is a new one for this year, and it is amazing to watch 40, 50 people from all sorts of different backgrounds, all very nervously hanging around a room saying, "Well, can you sing? Can you sing?" I left them with that attitude and went back an hour later, and they were all singing in harmony. Mind blowing. Don't know how this lady did it, but she did it. And they all were, they were dancing, they were really getting into it. And they were singing in all sorts of different languages. It wasn't English. The tutor just picked songs from different parts of the world, and various people around the room were saying, "Can I tell my story? I know this song." The communication was amazing. So we're hoping to go on tour. Anybody that works at performance, we're hoping to go on tour very shortly. Language Cafe I've mentioned. Language exchange didn't work. We thought, we've got all these languages sitting in ESOL, why can't they share them with the rest of the college? Didn't work. So this year, one of the ESOL students has decided he's going to set up a chat room. Not on computer, in an actual physical room, where people came along for a chat. Completely student-led, extremely popular. So flexibility is the key. ESOL goes green. We decided, yep, part of the environment, we've got to do all this complete integration. So yes, we have started at ESOL goes green. And the competition last year for sunflowers was amazing. It was just a shame the college had to close for summer. So the fight was on who was going to take them home. It wasn't just all about sunflowers, it was about growing herbs and spices and sharing that language. Again, all focused on real life language and getting them to use their language skills. So we now have this dream alongside the dream of the new build that we're moving into in August. And that new dream incorporates feeding the restaurants, feeding the kitchens, so we can grow the herbs and we can sell them internally to the college. That implies that the students are going to be willing to let go of them, but we'll try and persuade them. So about the whole language thing, we can interpret it in so many different ways, and it's about their self-confidence. It's about giving them the tools to go out and be integrated, if you can be integrated into anything. But we're providing a number of extra opportunities out with the class so that people can use their language and forget about the grammar and forget about failing an assessment. It's about getting what you want at the end of the day. So I would encourage every single person in here to use the talents that you've got on your doorsteps, at your fingertips, get them to use their skills. And it doesn't cost you anything. Seriously. The only one that costs us any money is the ESOL singing group, and that's just worth it for the entertainment value and the community that is built up around them. So, a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, it doesn't cost that much. So use what you've got to encourage others to develop their skills in this country. So I, again, like Elodie, I will only be here until lunchtime. But I won't teach this afternoon, shame. But I'm willing to share anything. I haven't put anything into your bags because I couldn't afford all of them. But there are sample ones here if anyone would like to take a copy of ESOL Extras away with them. Thank you very much for listening.